There is a massive difference between someone being decisive and someone being flat-out controlling. I sat down at the table, hadn't even looked at the menu, and my date had already ordered me a double scotch, which I don't drink, and a whole fish that was literally staring back at me. But honestly, that wasn't even the worst part. When your date downs your drink and screams at the restaurant staff on day one, you aren't on a date. You're in a hostage situation. Welcome back to the Block List Survival Chronicles. I'm Damon, and let me tell you about the quickest date I've ever walked out on. So, I matched with this woman on a dating app. We agreed to meet at a nice local restaurant. Before I left, I made sure to tell my best friend, Ben, exactly where I was going and what time I'd be there. Always leave a digital trail. Guys, safety first. I arrive, and she is already seated at a table. I walk up, and honestly, she looked exactly like her profile picture. So I'm thinking, okay, this is a good start. But the second I sit down, she tells me that she has already ordered my food. I just stared at her like, hang on a minute, I haven't looked at the menu yet. Before I can process this, the waitress walks over with our drinks. A double scotch for her, and a double scotch for me. I look at the drink and politely inform the waitress that I actually don't drink scotch, and ask if she could grab me a vodka and Coke instead. Before the waitress even has the chance to take it, my date grabs my glass of scotch and downs the entire thing. The waitress comes back a minute later, hands me my vodka and Coke with a look of pure pity. Suddenly, my date says loudly, "Can you stop flirting with my date?" I was mortified. I turned to the waitress, thanked her for the drink, and she hurriedly walked away looking really upset. I looked at my date and asked her why she would say that. She snapped and said, "She was looking at you with her eyes all flirty." Before I could say another word, a waiter brings us our food. He sets a plate in front of me, and it looks like my absolute worst nightmare. It was a fish with chips, peas, and a wedge of lemon. But the fish still had a head. The eyes were literally just staring at me. I looked at it and said, "I'm sorry, but I can't eat that." Instead of being normal about it, my date starts yelling at the waiter to get me something else. Like, actually yelling. The poor guy grabs the plate and practically runs to the kitchen. Before I had a chance to react, she starts clicking her fingers at our original waitress, the one she already upset, and demands that she get their manager. The manager approaches our table and asks what has happened. This time, before she can get a word out, I explain how my date has ordered for me a drink I didn't like and food I couldn't eat. I pointed out that his staff was in no way to blame and that she had caused the issue by not giving me the chance to order what I wanted. She then talks over us, loudly claiming she was being kind by making a decision so we could get to know each other better without having to spend precious time discussing the menu. The manager looks at her and tells her that they have a zero-tolerance policy for disrespect in this restaurant. She smugly smiles and says, "Thank you. I hope you teach your staff to behave better." She completely missed the point. I threw enough cash on the table to cover my drink and a tip for the waitress, stood up, looked at my date, and said, "He was talking about you. Have a terrible night." I walked straight out the door. My phone started blowing up with texts from her calling me ungrateful, but you already know what I did. Blocked. Guys, take it from me. Setting up a safety plan with your boys is step one, but step two is paying attention to the subtle red flags. If someone takes away your choice and orders for you without even asking, that isn't being kind. That is a massive power play and an early sign of a highly controlling personality. If they are trying to control what goes on your plate on date number one, imagine what they will try to control later. Add that to the fact that she treated the service staff like garbage, and you have the ultimate recipe for a disaster. How they treat the waiter is exactly how they will treat you eventually. So, before you go on your next date, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any more red flags from the Block List Survival Chronicles. If you've ever had a date try to control you or throw a tantrum in a restaurant, hit that like button and let me know your worst restaurant date story down in the comments. Share this video with a friend who needs a reminder to protect their peace and their dinner. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next episode.